Okay. Woo. All right, I'm gonna give y'all all a chance to get in here. Tonight we're gonna be talking about taxes. Okay, so if y'all got questions, y'all make sure y'all get ready to drop those down in the inbox so that I can answer your questions. I hope you guys are having a good Monday. Happy Monday to everybody. Hope y'all are doing good. Oh, y'all been keeping me busy with these taxes, so if y'all got questions, y'all need to go ahead on and drop them because I know y'all gonna have some that y'all definitely gonna be asking, and I don't want to hear nothing later. So if y'all got them, go ahead on and drop them. Make sure you tag. Uh, oh goodness, look at it. It's talking about it's not streaming. Ooh, I'm telling you, this thing no, it's making me mad. But anyway, so hey y'all. Again, we're talking about taxes tonight. You know what? I'm just going to download it and upload it on YouTube and on Facebook later. So unfortunately, I might miss some of my Facebook people, but it's okay. TikTok and YouTube is where I'm at. Again, happy Monday. Hey to my YouTube guys. Hey, Chanel. So again, y'all go ahead and drop these questions because I know y'all going to have a lot of questions tonight. And I want to make sure I get to everybody. I don't want to leave anybody out. Plus, I want to go over the questions I already got because I've been answering questions all day. Even the people who are not my clients, because I like y'all to get good information. So I want to continue that. So let me see what y'all got going on. And hey to everybody if I missed anyone. Hey, Mo. Mo says, give my friend advice about HELOC. She's only had her house for 2 years. Well, I can tell you right now, straight up, before I get into the taxes, if she's already looking to get a HELOC, which is a home equity line of credit, and she's only been in the house for 2 years, I am almost certain she does not have any equity. I do not recommend that she go to pull out any money because it's not going to be worth it. The interest rate increase that she's going to sustain, the amount of money that she's going to pull out, which is only going to be a little bit, but it's going to change her payments. And I don't know that it's worth it. She is more than welcome to go on Zillow and just take a look at what her house is worth right now versus how much she bought her house for. And I'm almost certain it's going to not be enough for her to really take out any money. And banks do not look favorably upon individuals who are trying to get a home equity line of credit after only having a home for 2 years. Okay. You usually don't even start getting any equity until you're probably about in your third year. Okay. So I hope I answered that question, Mo. All right. So y'all, thank y'all for being here. Happy Monday. Let's get on these taxes real quick. My YouTube people, my TikTok people and my YouTube people, I appreciate y'all. So let me just give y'all the, let me see if y'all ask me anything before I start. Okay. So, hey, Loretta. Hey, Carla. All right. So let me go to my Facebook so I can go to my stories real quick because I did put up a lot of stuff. So I just want to let y'all know right now. So it's a couple things that's going on. A lot of y'all have been asking, because I don't know who's been telling y'all this, that tax season this year, you're going to get a whole lot more money than last year. And I don't really know where they're getting the information from. I can tell you that a lot of people probably telling you that because they want you to file with them. And as anybody who's been watching me, my followers, y'all know I've been telling y'all the whole month of December and probably November that tax season this year, your refunds are not going to look that different because nothing has really changed. The TCJ Act, the Tax and Cuts Job Act, is still in effect. The only thing that has changed this year is and I'm going to give you the number so y'all don't think I'm just pulling it out of my you know what. So the only thing that has changed is the limits of the earned income credit, but they have not increased that much. Okay, so I'm going to just give you an example so y'all know what I'm talking about. Earned income credit last year ranged from $600 all the way to $74.30. Okay, so one child was $600, and of course, if you go up to your maximum of 3, it's supposed to be $7,430. What has changed for 2024? It has now went from $600 to $632, and instead of $74.30, it is now, hold on, because I'm $78.30. So there's only a difference on the low end of $32, and on the high end is a difference of $400. So if you were expecting a windfall because that's what your tax preparer told you, they are not telling you the truth. And you can't even count the $30 and the $400. And I'm going to tell you why. Because if you were to look at the tax brackets for this year, it has also increased. So if you made some more money, that means they're going to tax you some more, which means even if you have children and you're trying to get your earned income credit income, it is probably going to mirror what you made last year because they're taxing you on more of your money. So the only way that anybody's going to make more money this year, as far as it comes to your taxes, is if you made less money than you did last year with the same amount of dependents. Let me run that back one more time. The only way you're going to make more money is if you have less money that you earned and the same amount of dependents. Okay. Because if you have made more money or even the same amount of money and the same dependents, you are going to make less than you did last year because they are taxing you on more money and they've only increased your earned income credit very little. The maximum of $400. You can count it for what you want. $400 for a family of 4 ain't that much. Okay. So if anybody's been telling you you're going to get a lot of money this tax season, which a lot of y'all been coming and asking me, I'm telling you, and I'm not just going to throw you something out there. You can go to my story. You can see it because it's posted. All right. So that is not exactly true. In order to see the difference, you got to make less money, same amount of dependents that you had for last year. And again, as always, y'all drop those questions so that I can get on those so we can get that through to you guys today. Okay. Hey, Miss Nikki, how are you? All right. So let me see what y'all asking before I move on to whatever is next. Mariah Lynn, thank you, Mariah. See, it does make sense. People just be saying any old thing because why? Because they don't study or even try to understand taxes. Tax preparation is just data. Okay, and data entry, just somebody just inputting some stuff into the computer based off of what the questions that it asks. But if they don't know how or don't understand taxes, I would be just a little bit leery because you got somebody doing your taxes that can't even explain to you why you can get more or why you're getting less. If they can't pull out those forms and read them or explain them to you when they print out your tax paperwork, I might be a little concerned about who I'm going to, especially because y'all not paying them $1. Y'all not paying them $50. Y'all not even paying them $100. Some of y'all are paying them hundreds, if not thousands of dollars because y'all have them do the most on your taxes. Okay. So I hope that made sense. Donna says, why my hair like that? Because I felt like it. Okay. So I don't know if you're trying to throw shade or you're trying to be funny. It don't matter to me. I don't care. Okay. But thank you for noticing. Let me see what else y'all asked. Okay. All right. So let me get what's next. So if anybody is looking for the IP pen, I know I told you guys that the IRS is not going to be mailing out your IP pen until later in January. That part has not changed. But if you have access to the irs.gov, y'all know I'm always telling y'all, make sure you have access to irs.gov so that you can access your account so you can see if you owe money, so you can get your IP pin. Okay. So IRS does have your information if you have your login. So if you have your login to the irs.gov account, and I want you guys who are on TikTok to share because I don't like to see those numbers small because I know it's more than 65 people that have questions. So I appreciate you guys if you would like and share, and the same for you guys on YouTube. Okay. So if you need your IP pin, and because you're trying to do your taxes, then you are going to need to create that account at irs.gov so that you can get your PIN. And if not, you're going to have to wait until they mail it to you. And no, you cannot use it 2 years in a row like we used to be able to. You can only use one PIN for 1 year. All right. So just so you know, hey, tough love, I know who you are. All right. Mariah says exactly. That's why I stick with the same person every year. I'm telling you, people go to all these people. Look, and I don't hate on nobody who does taxes. I mean, I do understand it's a hustle, and it's a hustle during the tax season. But if you don't understand taxes, you need to go and educate yourself because you look crazy being able, messing with people's money and messing with these numbers, and you do not know what you're doing. Because if these people get audited, your number is on your P10 is on those tax forms, and the IRS may have questions for you. So if you can at least explain why you did this, okay, to the person that's actually getting their taxes done, I don't know that I would go to them at all, but that's just me. Hey, Miss Sharon. Okay. So y'all do what you want, but I'm just letting you know. All right. So the IP pin, you can go online to the irs.gov website. You can get it. The second thing, no, this will not be a windfall season where everybody think they're going to cash out, make a whole lot of money at tax season. People say that same old line every single year. Okay. It's just not true. Next thing, if you are an individual and you hurting for money, because hey, people do, I don't judge. If you do, because we listen and we don't judge over here. and you have dependents, please remember that you got the PATH Act. They're not going to release your taxes until February. So if you need the money and you have a tax preparer, see if they do the tax advances or the bank advances or the tax refund advance, so that you can get some money ahead of time, so that you aren't stuck waiting until your taxes process. This does not something everybody needs, but there are some of y'all who do. I understand. Again, we listen, we don't judge. I'm just letting you know that it is open. Banks are open. So a lot of y'all have been saying, is the IRS open? No, the IRS is not open. They are not accepting your taxes, but the banks are. So the banks will basically take your refund. They'll take your tax information. They call it a pre-acknowledgement. They will hold it until the day the IRS opens, and the bank is going to go off of your credit and hopefully your good history with them, and they will give you an advance if they deem you worthy enough. And then when you get your tax refund from the IRS, they will take their money out and give you the remainder. Okay. Look at Tough Love say he working out and listening in. I appreciate it. You ain't got to tune in and look at me directly. Don't be giving me them goo gaga eyes. Okay. But definitely, if you listen, that is good enough, because it is something that you could take away. And I do think people need to know, because let me tell you, tax season is the season where people lie the most to get the most money from you. Okay. So make sure that you are aware. All right. So let's see. Oh, okay. So this is what I want to talk about the most. And this is going to be pretty important. A lot of y'all, and I know it's probably none of the people that are my regular followers, okay? But there are a lot of people out there that got the SBA EIDL loan, okay? And you have not paid the S to the B to the A, all right? So let me tell you what they're doing. They are now sending letters, and they are demanding a full payment, not your monthly payment. They are demanding the full payment. So what happens when that happens? Because yes, at 8 o'clock this morning, I did, and I don't want to say, Harry, are you watching? But I did get a message by 8 or 9 o'clock this morning, and it was like, hey, I got a letter. I owe $40,000 to IRS, and I have not paid. What do I do? I'm going to tell you guys what you should do. Okay. First and foremost, the EIDL loan is not the PPP. Do not get the two confused. If you have a PPP and you have not gotten forgiveness, shame on you. Because you should have at this point. And if you have not, yes, you could still do it. It's a bit more troublesome, but you can get the actual forgiveness form from the SBA website versus the lender that gave you the money. Second thing, the EIDL loan. Know that it's not the $10,000 bonus that a lot of people were getting, that $10,000 grant. That was just the EIDL grant. You didn't have to pay that back. But if you got the EIDL loan, let me run through the changes, okay? Because y'all know the government makes changes all the time. And what day do they make changes on? Fridays, because they know we're not paying attention, okay? So first of all, when you did the EIDL loan, the SBA stated that if you received a EIDL loan that is less than $200,000, they were not going to place a personal guarantee on you. If you don't know what a personal guarantee is, that's basically if you cannot pay something, because the EIDL loan was for businesses. So if your business, you can't pay back the government, then they are going to come after you, the person. That is what a personal guarantee is. They pursue you, the person. But SBA says we are not going to do that for anyone who got a loan under $200,000. And then all of a sudden, one day they were like, we lied. We are going to pursue, because we're not just going to let this money go. Okay. So then they stated, we are going to decide what we're going to do. And our decision is going to be, we are either going to turn the debt over to the Treasury offset program, and we will start taking your tax refunds until it's repaid, or we are going to sell your debt to a debt collector and let that debt collector pursue you. If that happens, let me tell you what happens on both ends. If they sell your debt to a debt collector, what is going to happen then is straight up, okay, let me tell you, they are going to put it on your credit. They are going to start sending you letters to see if you're going to make a payment plan. Your amount of your EIDL loan is going to go up because it was purchased by someone. So they add their fees onto it. And then if you do not pay it, or you do not respond, just like you did not do with the SBA, they are then going to sue you. Okay. Remember, statute of limitations. Even though you got the loan from the SBA, when a debt collector gets this debt, Now the statute of limitations starts over. And if you don't know what the statute of limitations is, that is how long a debt collector can sue you for a debt based off of the state that you lived in when you got the debt or got the money. Okay, so if you live in Florida, it's 5 years. You live in Louisiana, it's 6 years. You live in Texas, I believe it's 5 years. I mean, 4 years. It's all different depending on your state. If you need to fight, to see what your statute of limitations is for your state, please, by all means, send me a message on my website, shamikasaves.com. Send me an email. My email is shamikasaves@gmail.com. I will send you the list so that you can look. Why? Because you, some of your friends, cousins, family members probably got this, and y'all need to know how soon you need to prepare. Y'all know I'm a big person of preparation. I do not like things to creep up on me if I can stand it at all. So this is why I'm letting you guys know ahead of time so that you can choose which way you're going to go. Okay. So that is if they sell the debt to a debt collector. The other option is they can send that information because the SBA and Department of the Treasury, they're all a part of the federal government. What are they going to do? They're going to take your debt and they'll give it to the Department of Treasury, and they'll put your debt on the Treasury Offset Program. The Treasury Offset Program is basically a program where if you don't pay the government a certain amount, if you don't pay the government back a debt that you owe them, they will now have the right to take any funds that you receive that are governmental from you. Okay. So, for example, if you're going to get your tax refund and they have a debt saying the SBA says you owe $40,000, well, what's going to happen if you got a $2,000 refund from the IRS? You won't see it. It's no different than if you owe student loans. Okay. Now, I am going to give y'all this phone number. I want somebody to type this for me, please, on both platforms. Help the next man out if you don't mind. This number is the number for the Treasury Offset Program. I give this out to y'all every year, and I'm going to continue to give it out because I want you guys to call. Now, I did call today because I wanted to see if the line was operating. It is operating, but I'm going to tell you guys right now, do not call one time and think that is it. If you call tonight when you get off this live, please, before you file your taxes, you need to call again because it is only the 5th or the 6th of January and all of the debts have not been turned over. I personally don't recommend you guys file your taxes for those that can wait for the money until the end of the month, because that's when everything is supposed to be issued out to you guys. That's when everything is supposed to be to the government. The IRS also gives your jobs and all those other people time to get those W-2s and those forms, 1099s to them and to you. So usually by the end of the month is when they will know if you owe. So I don't want y'all thinking, oh, I don't owe student loan. I checked on the 5th or the 6th, and then you go file your tax on the 15th, and then you don't get your money. Okay. So don't say I didn't tell you. And that's right. I'm about to say your name. Tough Love says, hit the like button, you guys. Okay. So let me give y'all the number real quick. Hit that like button. I appreciate that. And I want somebody to type this in. The number is 800-304-3107. I think I can put it in here over on YouTube. 800-304-3107. Okay. Y'all call that number. Please keep that in your phone because that number will never change. Okay. And if y'all, I keep these numbers just like they my boyfriend. I keep them right in my phone because I know y'all going to need them and I'm going to need them too. Okay. This number stays working pretty much the whole year until the tax season closes. And I will say that is not April, October when it really closes. Okay. So 800-304-3107. Please tell me somebody put that down on TikTok for somebody else. And for those that can't type, but you want the number anyway, screenshot the screen so that you have it and call. Okay. Make sure everybody calls that you know that are doing taxes, because so many people think that they don't owe. And right now we don't know what is what. We are in the middle of so many changes, from the student loans to this SBA EIDL stuff. Hell, and some of y'all, because y'all been contacting me too, some of y'all are getting these letters from the IRS and you don't even know if you owe them. Now, here is what they're doing that is tricky. Before I get back to these questions on TikTok and anybody on YouTube, y'all drop a question if you got one. Okay. When you call that Treasury offset number, get this, how funny they are. Department of the Treasury is also the IRS falls under the Department of the Treasury. But when you call that Treasury offset hotline, why is it that they don't have your IRS debt included in whatever debts that you owe when you call that line? So you might think, oh shoot, I only owe $500. I'm good with getting me a $2,500 refund. I'm gonna get $2,000. It says on the line, because I know some of y'all gonna be talking and having the TV on, having music on. You ain't gonna be listening. So I'm gonna tell you now. When you call the offset hotline, it is every other government debt except the IRS. So if you think you owe the IRS, or if you don't know if you owe the IRS, then listen to your girl and please register your IRS.gov account so that you can see. So basically what they are making you guys do from here on out is they're going to make you be the steward of your own situation. They don't have to send you guys letters. Why? Because they're going to start doing everything electronically. Okay. So the IRS, you need to check to see if you owe them. And you also need to call the Treasury hotline to see if you owe anybody else. That does include food stamps, Social Security, and they are now including state debt. So if you owe your state some money, they are taking it out of your taxes, your tax refund, to basically get that money back. Okay. So I don't know how that call got through. So anyway, so I'm just letting y'all know. Did y'all get that? That is crazy to me, but this is how I know, that they know y'all, or they think, okay, because not us that's paying attention. Us, we stand on top of this, but the other people who unfortunately don't get a chance to watch this live or don't know who I am or y'all, so that y'all can refer them to me, they're going to be the ones that's going to be hurting when they find out they're not going to get anything back. Okay, so be mindful and please make sure that your addresses are updated, because you don't want to be getting letters and then you miss it. Okay, now before I go to the questions, the person asked me who owed the $40,000. Now the loan was $40,000. It's now $43,000. Okay. And they said, well, what's the worst that can happen? I have an S corporation. Am I safe? Now, y'all know I talk about business structures all the time. We got the LLC, which is, you could just be a regular LLC. You could be an S Corp LLC, or you can be a C corporation, which is separate than an LLC. And I had to tell this individual, unfortunately, even though you have an S Corp, you are not protected, because your S Corp is an LLC. And what do I tell y'all guys all the time? You need to separate the two. And if you have an LLC, you're not separated. You are still the same person. So if they wanted to place a lien against you, okay, and if y'all don't know what a lien is, basically that's the government leaning on your finances. Y'all see how I'm doing? They leaning on your finances, even though it's not spelled that way. They are leaning on your finances. And if you don't pay, they are going to get a subpoena. Y'all hear me? They're going to get a subpoena, and they can subpoena your financial records. All right. So if you used to make payments for your SBA EIDL loan from your Cash App, and then you made one from your Zelle account, and then you made one from your bank account personal, and then you made one from your a business account. Y'all notice if you made your payments, it asks you what type of account it is. Is it business or is it personal? If you made any payments from any account, because it's still in your records, they have every right to send a subpoena to those banks, because they know those banks you are connected with because you made payments from them. So if they place a lien against you, when they start leaning on y'all finances, and they win, because you're not gonna win against Uncle Sam, okay? You just ain't gonna win. If he places a lien because you didn't pay, they're gonna take that money out of your account, and they do not have to give you $1 back. Okay, if you owe them $43,000 and unfortunately you only got $2,000 in your Cash App, it's gone. Especially if they put a lien and they have a subpoena to get your bank records. All right, so that's all I gotta say. Let me see what questions y'all ask, and then we'll move on to whatever is next. Okay. All right. Let me see. Hold on. Mariah says, I should have done the PPP loan. I don't know. You might not want to. I mean, you might have been clear. There's a lot of people that's kind of regretting they didn't do the PPP loan, but at least you don't have to look over your shoulders to worry about anything. Are we getting the stimulus? Absolutely not. I don't even know why anybody's thinking we're getting the stimulus. Thank you, Odie Cody. The only reason we got a stimulus when Trump was in office last time is because of the pandemic. They needed to stimulate the economy, so they gave you money so that they can turn around. So that you guys can turn around and put that money right back into the economy. Because I can tell you right now, I don't know not one person that got a stimulus and said, girl, that stimulus money is still sitting in my bank account earning interest, because it's not. Okay, because you spent it. Walmart probably got it. Amazon probably got it. Somewhere you went out to eat, got it. You know what I'm saying? So no, don't be looking for a stimulus. Normally we do get one. Most time, usually at least when we have, you know, a president, we did get one with Joe Biden. We did get it with Trump. But that was under certain circumstances that we got that many. We did get something under Obama. I don't know if y'all remember that. So I'm not saying that it's not possible that we might not get one in the next 4 years, but I don't foresee you getting anything this year. Okay. It's just probably not going to happen. Okay. Sorry about that. What's the next question y'all got from me? Hold on. Look at that. Tracy, you shouldn't be asking about no stimulus. It's just January. Okay. They ain't give us a chance to get broke enough yet. All right. So no. So y'all that's watching, I know y'all got questions. So go ahead and drop those. So let me get to some other stuff. So unfortunately, we're always going to have fraud. People are always going to be claiming other people's children that's not theirs. They're going to file before you do. That happens every year. Somebody hit me up today and said, can I call the IRS? This person has already filed and got an advance, and I am really raising this child. What do I do? And I said, you can call the IRS all you want to. The IRS is not going to do anything over the phone. It has to be done in writing. So if this happens to you, if you find that you were defrauded and somebody claims someone that you should have claimed, the only thing that you can do is do the taxes in the system and print that paperwork out. You need to sign it. Make sure your tax person signs it. You also need to attach the IRS ID theft affidavit. Okay, so I want y'all to just write this number down for somebody if y'all can. I'll put it in on YouTube. So hold on, let me pull it up real quick so I can give y'all this form. Lord, because I got so many of y'all to call when I get off this live tonight, which I don't mind. But y'all see how y'all will come and ask me all these questions. I'm gonna need y'all to come and bring that business over here too, and stop going to these other people that's putting y'all in these situations, and then y'all come to your girl, which I don't mind, and ask me to help you out of it. We just not gonna keep doing that. Okay. All right. So the form number is 14039. Okay. So somebody, y'all can just type IRS form 14039. That is the ID theft report. If somebody takes something and files something and you are not able to electronically file, that is what you're going to have to do, because the IRS will just reject if you just send in a blank printed out tax form with a social security number that's already been used. They're not going to know what to do with it. So you need to do that ID theft, that IRS form 14039, as well as you need to send in your printed copy of your taxes, because you will not be able to e-file it, so that they know why you mailed it in. And then, and I had to tell this person this too, and I'm gonna tell y'all too, unfortunately, you will not get that refund that you were expecting to get for at least 6 months. It's going to take a while, because the IRS has to make sure that you telling the truth and this person is not telling the truth. That person will ultimately get their refund before you, because they filed first. You will get yours later, after the IRS realizes that you're telling the truth, and then they will go after the other person. Thank you, Freedom 260, the IRS, and thank you, Odie Cody. The IRS will then go after the other person and tell them they now owe that money back, plus penalties and fines and some fees. Okay, so that is what you're gonna have to do, because, well, people are going to snatch it up because people want that advance. Okay. And a lot of people are trying to get the highest amount of a refund that they can. And the only way you're going to do that, especially if you're a single person, you're going to have some dependents. Okay. So that's what you need to do to get your money back in case somebody does that to you. Okay. Let me see. Because y'all know y'all been hitting me up with some stuff today. Okay. All right, I'll get to that bankruptcy one later. Miss Nika says, I'm coming to you for my taxes. How do I get on your books? I will gladly send you my link, Miss Nika, or anybody else who wants my link. It'll take you right to the software, and all y'all really got to do is just put your name, your birthday, and your social, because I don't have to have it, and then I will get your I'll text you and actually get your documents. Okay. Now you could choose again if you want to do it with your last pay stub because you want to file now, or if you want to wait until you get your W-2. But let me tell y'all something real quick. Miss Nika, real quick, or anybody, send me a message, shamikasaves@gmail, or you just go right to my website and message me, shamikasaves.com, and I will send you a message back tonight. Now let me tell y'all this. If you are using your last pay stub to do your taxes, this is very, very important. When you get your W-2, you still need to send it to the person that did your taxes, because the numbers, I promise you, are going to be slightly different if you had a retirement plan. If you did 401k, you got medical insurance, you got dental insurance, any of those things, even if you have state taxes, the last pay stub will read different than the W-2. Now, it's not going to be thousands of dollars different, but it could be $100 or $200 difference. So that could mean $200 more that you get back, or $200 you're gonna have to pay them back. That's about what it usually is, because your last pay stub usually has it has all of your income, it has all of your tax information. It just doesn't have certain things when it comes to benefits, okay? Or thrift savings plan, your 401k. Some of those things do not show on your last pay stub. Now, if you have a person file your taxes because you're trying to get the advance and you're using your last pay stub, again, that is fine. But here is what y'all need to do so y'all are not waiting a very long time. This is what I personally do, and I tell everybody that I use their last pay stub to do their taxes. This is what I tell them. I'm going to process your taxes based off of your last pay stub. I'm going to give you an advance if you want an advance. I'm going to wait until you get your tax refund so that I don't slow up the process. But then once you get your tax refund, I am then going to amend your taxes if needed to capture whatever the difference is from your last pay stub to your W-2. So I wait until you get all your money first. Then I make whatever changes, and whatever changes that is, then if you owe some or if you are going to get more, you'll find out at that time, but it won't slow up you getting your original refund. Okay. So I'm letting you know, if y'all using your last pay stub with somebody, please tell them to process your taxes normally and not to amend your taxes until after you get your refund. Because if you amend before you get your refund, you are, and I can promise you now, it's going to take you 4 months before you get the original refund you were waiting on. And the only thing y'all ended up getting was your $500 cash advance. It's not worth it. Okay. So I will hold your W-2s until you tell me you got your refund, or I can see it myself when you get it. And then once I see that you got it, I will go in and update whatever changes at that time. That is how it should be done, so that your money can continue to come and you're not waiting. Now you can wait for $200, but I don't want you waiting for $4,000, $5,000. You're not going to be mad at me. Okay. Miss Sharon said, Shamika, is this live because I got a notification and you're live with a yellow top on? I have no idea. I have this live for YouTube was messed up originally. So even if it's not working right, I'm just going to download this and I'm going to re-upload it to Facebook, and I'm going to re-upload it to YouTube. So again, late start because hell, I just finished with some of y'all to hop right here on this live to talk to the rest of y'all. So I apologize. Okay. Thank you very much, user 422. It said great information as always. So I appreciate that. Odie Cody says she answers her emails right away. I sure appreciate the help a couple weeks ago. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Hey, Nikki, how are you? Okay. Sylvia said, can you stop offsets? The only way you can stop an offset is if you file bankruptcy. Okay. But let me tell y'all, because people were using filing bankruptcy as a way to stop an offset to keep your tax refund processing so that you can get it. That is not working the same as it used to. And the reason why is because some of y'all don't file bankruptcy until after you discover that you have an offset. So normally how it would work, if you already know that, man, the IRS gonna take my money, you already should know that in December before the tax season opens. If you file bankruptcy early enough, yes, you can throw all that debt in there. By this time, the governmental agencies that you owe, because IRS is one of them, that are automatically notified when you file bankruptcy, whether you owe them or not. They are automatically on the list of recipients that find out that you file. They will know. Then that stops the offset. Now, okay, so it stops the offset, but that does not mean they're going to process your refund and give it to you. Okay, that's the downside. So for those who, and this is just what I tell folks, if you are considering to file bankruptcy and you are also about to file taxes, you need to file your taxes first and then file bankruptcy. Because in most cases, when you file your taxes, they're going to say, you ain't that broke. You can pay somebody. Okay, if you don't want them doing this, trying to take the little refund that you do have, you need to file your taxes, spend the money, file your taxes. I hope y'all caught that. File your taxes, and then you go and you file bankruptcy, because now the money's gone. Okay. Yes, Miss Sharon, this is today. Yeah, I got the date says 06/25. So yeah, it should be today's date. Okay. So and then for those who owe the IRS, well, unfortunately, the only thing you can do is file your taxes. It might slow. You probably won't get your refund until after the bankruptcy process is over. In most cases, for those who file Chapter 7, is 6 months. But stalling an offset does not mean you automatically get your refund. That used to work. It's not working now. Okay. Remember what I told y'all, that infrastructure money that Joe Biden gave to the IRS, that money's working. Okay. The systems are systeming. They are catching up with a lot of stuff. So things moving slow and things falling through the cracks. It's not going to happen like it used to. So that's what y'all y'all need to know. All right. Okay, so let me see what else y'all asking, and then I'm gonna get to the veteran stuff real quick. Okay, all right. So hold on, Miss Sharon. Let me see. I felt like you asked me something earlier, and I want to make sure I got it. Okay, you said, and I'm seeing you live twice. That's weird? I don't know why you're seeing me live twice, but hey, twice. Okay. Okay. So let me get to my vet thing real quick. This is just for anyone here as a veteran. And I know I'm gonna have to bring this back up when she comes online. So maybe I ought to wait and not bring it up right now. Okay. Okay. Another thing, if y'all are doing your taxes and y'all doing your taxes get in advance, right? And you have state tax, you live in a place where you pay state taxes, your state taxes they're probably not open. So if you are filing your taxes to get money early, using your last pay stub or whatever you're trying to do, if you're filing early and you are finding that your state tax is not open, that means that when you e-file to the bank, because you're not e-filing the IRS yet, because the IRS isn't open, the bank is holding what we already did. And once your state comes online to accept e-file, the bank should send it. Okay. But like right now, I have someone and it's Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania is saying we are not ready to take e-file forms yet. Okay. So the bank usually holds that. Again, if you're going to someone, and I don't want to assume every bank is the same or every top tax software is the same. If your bank, or excuse me, if your state is not available or not taking e-files, you need to find out when they do. And then you need to check with your tax preparer to see if your state taxes were then sent. Okay. Because some of y'all, it may be e-file to the IRS, but it won't be e-file to your state because they're not ready yet. And that has happened. The IRS is ready, but then it's the state is not ready. All right, so that's something y'all need to pay attention to. Okay, let me see y'all know I gotta go through my notes, and I want y'all to ask questions because I know y'all are. Okay, so somebody probably gonna ask me about, can my kids file? Yes, your kids can file. Remember, if your child had a job, they can file themselves, and you can also claim them on the taxes. The rule is your child needs to file their taxes first. Okay. Please don't be out here screwing over y'all children and letting them pay taxes to the IRS, because if they're a child, more than likely, and even if their income is small enough, more than likely every dollar that they pay to the IRS, they're going to get back. So even if it's $200, even if it's $76, that's $76 that was taken out of their check that comes back to them. All right. So please make sure that you are letting your children file. And yes, you can still claim them. Please also do not forget y'all 1098-T forms. Everybody and their mama is in school, okay? But y'all are leaving them $1,000 on the table. The first 2 years, you get that, you get your credit for going to school. So you get $1,000 or less. But most of y'all who gone full time, you're gonna get about $1,000. All right. Some of y'all who didn't use any aid, some of y'all don't use none, but you'll be able to see it on your form if you actually use scholarships or grants. Okay. They give you at least $1,000 back. So please don't leave that one out for anybody. Hey, Simple Living. Okay. A lot of people do that every single year. And then we are turning around and amending taxes months later because you now found out that, oh, damn, I had $1,000 I could have claimed and I didn't do it. Because some of y'all are in such a rush, and there's nothing wrong with being in a rush, but when you're in a rush, sometimes you make mistakes and you forget things, okay? And we don't want to do that, all right? All right, so somebody asked me a question. I'm just telling y'all exactly what I told them. Somebody said that, hey, I owe child support, and I have an 18-year-old son, and I want my 18-year-old son to claim my 3-month-old baby. And I said, well, I'm just going to tell you the truth because I know a lot of people aren't going to tell y'all this, okay? I don't know why I have two lives going at the same time. That is so weird. I don't know. I'm sorry. Don't worry. I'll take one off. Pick which one to watch. I'll probably leave them both up there. Okay. Um, so the IRS does not always have a person that is physically looking at your paperwork. But if you happen to be selected, or if, because remember, they are using AI technology this year, they're using it way more than any other year. If they sense that something looks a little funny, and I'm going to tell you right now, how many 18-year-old boys, okay, especially boys, girls maybe, but boys, how many 18-year-old boys you guys know is working, and this child is not working a full-time job and is taking care of a 3-month-old, and you really expect the IRS to believe that, and you're using the same address as your parent. Okay, so these are some of the things that y'all do that you don't think about, because right now you're only thinking about, oh, I'm trying to get this money, and some of y'all taxpayers ain't thinking about it either, because all they're trying to do is get paid off of your refund. But this how y'all getting caught up. Okay, right before I went on live, and that's why I was late, someone I know who probably tries to reach out for help and don't really get a lot of help, they sent me a picture and said, I can't understand what this says. That's what I don't like about the IRS, is they don't really tell y'all where to go when you get these forms, and you can't read them. Why? Because how many people are smart enough to understand how accounting works? Okay, some people, when they see a negative or they see a parentheses, a lot of times that they think, oh, that means it's a negative. Well, the IRS may mean that to be a positive. It just depends on how it's listed. So if you don't understand, you should go and ask someone. But this person has been sitting on something, and the letter wasn't even lined up. It said that they had an overpayment of $200, but when it said total amount of overpayment, it had zero. But when you clearly do the math, you could see that they're really trying to say you owe $2,000. Now, it's $2,000 as of the date of that letter, but every single month that passes, you are accruing interest and fees. Okay, so if you get something from the IRS, you guys need to keep it. And remember what I always say, because I'm always keep saying it: if the letter is a CP, as in Charlie Paul, a lot of those letters are computer generated letters, and the IRS may or may not put those in your IRS record, your IRS file. So I'm real, I don't know, you call me anal or not, but I am quick to snap a picture, and I don't care if it's way, 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 way back in there. As long as I know I took a picture of it, I know it's in my phone. Okay. Another thing I'll do is I'll take a picture and I'll make it a favorite so that I can easily find it. If you guys are getting letters and you don't see them in your IRS system, in your, in your own account, you guys need to know that a lot of those computer generated letters do not get vetted through your profiles. They just get automatically generated and mailed out to you. And sometimes if you lose it, you have no way of getting another copy. And then try to get an appointment at your local IRS office. And then I'll just wait to see when you come back in about 3 months, because it takes forever to get an appointment. Okay. So make sure you are keeping whatever letter that they send you at all times. Okay. I don't care if I just have a box and I just throw all the stuff I get in there in a box. I keep it because I know, hell, 2-3 years from now, they may come back and say, well, we told you. And then what I'm going to do is they'll say that they don't have a copy of it. But when it's time for me to fight them back, boom, a copy is going to come up out of nowhere. All right. So please look after yourself, because it is not their job to do it for you. All right. Okay, you said I see it now. It's the live from last Monday. You had on a yellow top. Yes, I did. I had a yellow top on the live last week. I don't know why it's playing. That is so weird, but it's okay. I'm gonna figure this out when I get off this, because that just makes me mad. Let's see. Y'all see why I need some help? This is a lot of work, trying to stay on top of this, do the work, and be trying to get this going. I Am Favorite says transcripts are helpful too. They are very helpful, but they are not helpful to someone who has never seen accounting transcripts. Okay, if you haven't taken an accounting class, or if you don't know how to read profit and loss statements or anything like that, you are going to have a hard time understanding what the IRS is trying to tell you. Okay, Yes, IRS transcripts are very helpful. Especially if y'all don't get your W-2s, you can go and get them right from your wage transcript, right in your account at the IRS website. So you don't even have to worry about. Some of y'all probably already have it in there, and y'all waiting on a W-2, and it's probably already uploaded. Okay, because they have to get their stuff to the IRS much faster than they have to get it to you. All right. So if some of y'all can't wait, just go to your account, the IRS.gov, and see if it is there. All right, because it may already be there. How do you see the IRS account? Go to irs.gov. They close at 9 o'clock. Isn't that crazy? The whole site shuts down. So they close at 9 o'clock, but they're back open at 7 in the morning, okay? All you need to do is just go and register yourself. You can log in through ID Me, or you can log in through login.gov, and you will automatically be taken to your account. The first time it's a little bit of work getting registered, but after that, you don't have to worry about it anymore. And then that login works for everything, okay? Anything governmental, okay? So everybody should have that. You can get your IP PIN. You can see your 1099s. You can see your W-2s. You can see your past tax filing. You can see how much you owe. They claim you can see letters. I don't think they're going to be CP letters. They're just going to be the regular, because there's two types of letters. All right. And I wish I could show y'all the difference. Maybe I'll have to do that on a video, because I need time to blank out people's information to show you the difference between a CP letter, which is the computer generated letter, and then the standard letter that the IRS gives you. Okay. They are very different in how they're formatted, but they're equally important. All right. So you need that. The IRS did not list when they are accepting returns yet. We don't know when they're going to be open. They're usually open around the 20-something. So I say you probably got another week or so. They do this every single year, just like they're going to do with the PATH Act. Y'all usually don't get your checks for those who have kids. And remember, they do a lot of this stuff in batches. So some of y'all are going to find out that, hey, I got kids and I didn't get my check, whereas my neighbor, they got kids and they got theirs. Okay. They do it in batches. We don't know who's going to be in what batch. They just do it that way. Okay. So some of y'all will get your checks that when you have the dependents before other people. And that's going to usually be around Valentine's. Okay. Sometimes a little before, a couple days before, sometimes right, or right after. Okay. So it's going to be either way, but it's going to be during that week for those who are looking to get their money. Sylvia says, do I need to amend the W-2 that I forgot to file last year before I file? Yes, ma'am. And I'm glad that you asked that question, and I'm glad that you caught it, because if you wait for the IRS to tell you that you forgot, then they're going to add on a whole bunch of more fines and fees, because what they'll do is they'll sit and wait 2-3 years and then come back and hit you and go, oh, Miss Sylvia, you didn't put this in. And boom, now that $200 you made on that W-2 has now turned into $2,000. So do not allow them to do that to you if you missed a W-2. And please do not let these uneducated tax preparers tell you, girl, you could just add it to this year, because you're not supposed to do that. That also will mess you up, because that's more income than the IRS is showing that you have made for the year. So if you have something that says 2024, you need to amend your 2024 tax. Excuse me. If you got something that says 2023, you need to amend your 2023 taxes. The only thing that goes on this tax for this year is anything that says 24. You cannot commingle the years, because that is not how accounting works, but that's also not how the IRS works, and that will get you owing them money. Okay. And basically all we're trying to do is not have to pay these people anything more than we already have. Okay. So let's not do that. Good question though, Miss Sylvia. All right. Let's see. You're welcome, Classic. All right. So let me see if y'all got anything, because I'm going to give y'all about 10, 15 more minutes. And then I got to go back to doing the other stuff that I was doing while I look through this. Okay. So I don't know if any of y'all did the Verizon settlement. Y'all know I be telling y'all to do these class actions. I just got a little notification date. I got $5. Hey, it's not much, but $5 will at least give me a chicken sandwich at Chick-fil-A. And y'all know how I love Chick-fil-A. Okay. And I did mine through Zelle. And most, if you guys are doing those class action settlements, I would, if you could do Zelle, that's what I would tell you to do, because at least Zelle, when you get a deposit, they're going to send you a notification. Okay. So I got my notification saying that I got it. And I also want y'all, because I can't believe that I have to do this every year, but hey, we listen and we don't judge. There is a difference between single and head of household, guys. Just because you are the only person in your house does not make you the head of household. You can only be the head of your household if you got somebody to be ahead of, okay? And if it's just you, you are just a single individual. You are only a head of household if you have dependents. Not, and I got a dog, but and I know I'm his mama, but I can't claim that on my taxes as head of household because that will not work for me. I'm unfortunately gonna have to be single because I ain't got no man. Okay, but so that's how that works. Okay, so I need y'all to understand the difference between single and head of household because some of y'all be selecting that. And let me tell you, when you put head of household on your taxes versus single, you get a little extra dollars for being head of household. But it's wrong. Once the IRS sees that there's no dependent, they are then going to tell you, you owe us that money back because we overpaid you. So that is why you need to know the difference between single and head of household, because some of y'all will do any little thing to get extra money to come in your check because you ain't thinking about long-term repercussions, and making a couple extra dollars today could be a couple extra $1,000 tomorrow that you're going to owe. And then you're going to be sad when you can't get a refund for years because you got to pay them back. We don't need to do that. Okay. All right. Okay, so Sylvia says, okay, and what about 401k? Asking for my nephew. Hey, nephew. All right, so let me tell you, if you got a 401k and you took your money out, you are going to get a 1099-R. Okay, you're going to get that. When you get that, all you do is you're going to put that into your tax paperwork. And how it works is you are going to get a 10% penalty. Okay, anytime y'all take money out of your retirement early, I really hate that anybody has to do it, but I understand there is a 20% penalty, 10% penalty off the top from the individuals that's cutting you the check. They're taking 10% off the top because they've been managing your money and they want that money. They want their fee. Now, when they send you that 1099K, they're not adding in the taxes that the IRS is going to take. The IRS is going to take that. So as soon as you put those numbers into the system, the tax software is going to calculate and it's going to take 10% of what you received. And it's going to make you pay 10% of that back to the IRS. Okay. And now let me correct myself. It's not 10% of what you receive. It's 10% of what you withdrew. So if you took out $2,000, 200 is coming, 100 is going to the servicer that did your, that's managed your retirement. And then the other 100 will go to the IRS when you do your taxes. Okay. So I hope that answered, but that's how that works. All right. Some of y'all taxes be looking great until y'all send me the form saying that y'all paid, that y'all, took some money out of your 401k, and then it kills your refund because some of y'all took out a lot of money and some of it is for nothing. A vacation, not even anything that's worthwhile. And remember, and we talked about this on another episode. This is why I like y'all to tune in. I told you there are ways that you could ask them to code your withdrawal so that you don't have to pay that other 10%. Yes, there are codes, and you'll see it on your form for your nephew, Miss Sylvia. And when they get that 1099, it's going to have a code. And most time it's a 7. And a 7 and that usually means they have them. Let me not mix them up. There's a 7, there's a 3, and then there's letters. Okay. The 7 and the 3, if I'm not mistaken, is for anybody that gets pension, like Social Security, not Social Security, like military pension or anything like that. The letters are for individuals who work and took money from their 401k. So if you say, when you call Merrill Lynch, if that's who's handling your retirement, you say, hey, I need to withdraw $2,000 because I'm about to go back to school, because they ask you, why are you taking the money out? If you say I needed to pay bills, that's 20%. If you say I needed to get my roof fixed, that's 20%. But I'm going to school for higher education, it's 10%. They charge you less if they feel it's a justified reason. And I told you there are actual letters. Again, you can message me and I will send you the actual article. You can look at those different letters and what they mean, so that if you unfortunately are one of those individuals that has to pull money out, you know what you need to say when you're talking to the people so that you can pay less money, because they know that you don't know this. So they're going to get that 20% off of you. But now you know. Now they no excuse. Now you know. So at least only let them charge you 10% versus 20 by saying the right thing when you go to ask for that money to be withdrawn. Okay. Okay. And I'm about to get to the thing about the vets. Okay. So hold on. All right. So this just came out on Friday. And I'm just letting y'all know that if you are a veteran and you enlisted, if you had more than one enlistment, majority of the individuals who have more than one enlistment, okay, and depending on when you came in, they had you choose between the Montgomery GI Bill or the post 9/11 GI Bill, okay, and they actually cover something different. The Montgomery GI Bill was 36 months. The post 9/11 was 48 months. So 36 months don't even get you a whole 4-year degree. The post 9/11 gets you a 4-year degree. But some of y'all had no other choice but to switch off of Montgomery GI Bill to go to post 9/11 because you wanted to be able to get a 4-year degree. Well, now the government is saying, if that was you, and I will send this to anybody who thinks that this may pertain to them. Now you can let them know that, hey, I was one of those people that y'all may choose between the Montgomery GI Bill or the post 9/11, and they basically will give you an additional year of school, 12 months. Some people are thinking they're going to get another whole 4 years. They're not. They're only going to give you the additional 12 months. Now, even though they switched you to the post 9/11, they're going to give you one more year. Okay, because basically they took your entitlement and made you switch to something else in order to get what everybody else was getting. So they're doing that. Now, another thing, and I don't know why this is not talked about more widely, but if you are on that list with the borrower's defense, if your school is on that list and you use the GI Bill or the post 9/11 to pay for it, and this is why I really think they're doing this, is because of all those schools on that list that they're now going to have to basically make your degree null and void because the school is no longer around. They owe you guys all those months of education back, right? But what did they do? They put a cap on it. They're only going to give you up to 24 months of that back. Okay, so if y'all went and got a 4-year degree from a school and now that school is closed down and you use your GI Bill or the post 9/11, you don't get to do all those 4 years over. They're only going to give you 2 more years. Okay. Now, luckily, hopefully, some of y'all fall into both of these categories where now you can get those 2 years back that they owe you for your school being fraudulent, and this new program where you can get this extra 1 year. So, hell, some of y'all might be walking around here with a PhD based off of Uncle Sam. Okay. Because hopefully y'all was smart enough to get your transcripts and your actual diploma from the school before they shut down. Because I wouldn't care if they can't call them to verify. Here go my transcripts. Here goes my diploma. Okay. So, but again, if y'all need more information on that, I have it here. I will send it to you so that y'all can get more questions, and y'all will need to contact the VA. Good luck with that. But they also sent you guys emails last week letting you know that they sent you this because they think you are one of the individuals that may qualify. Okay. So y'all know what I say. If you think you qualify, apply, even if you know it ain't you. Do it, because you know what? You might slip through the cracks and get you a free year education. And see, that's why. And I'm like, girl, Shamika told me. Okay. All right. So anybody on YouTube got a question? Let me know, because y'all asking them over here on TikTok. Okay. Mo says, I just got my Equifax one from 2020, $7. Now look at that. Now what they were saying, they was finna give thousands out for the Equifax. I'm still waiting on my Equifax. $7 is better than nothing. At least $7 can get you one of those meals at McDonald's. You know, hopefully. Can we get anything for $7? I think you could probably get a Happy Meal. Okay. It ain't much, but it's something. It's at least 2 gallons of milk, maybe one thing of orange juice, but it's better than nothing, guys. Okay. We got to count our blessings, how big or how small. But all I know is I want as much of my money back as I possibly can get. Okay. Mindshift Market says, can't locate the PPP forgiveness form on the SBA site. Send me an email, Mindshift, and tell me you need that form. I have a copy in my phone because your girl is nerdy like that. And but yes, they absolutely still do have that PPP forgiveness form. Some people just do not know how to locate it, but I do. I will send it to you. All you got to do is just send me an email. You go right up to the email link in my on my profile, or you can go to the website and send a message, whichever one. Nicola said McDonald's meals are $9.99. Whew. See, that's why I can't go to McDonald's, because for $9.99, I'm getting a whole thing at Chick-fil-A, large drink and large fry. Okay, so I can't. McDonald's know they wrong for $9.99 now. That's crazy. But if it's for the kids, we got to do it. All right. Do you have a video on how to get a SBA loan? Are you trying to, what type of SBA loan, Mo? I'll do one for you. I'll just make one for you personally if you want me to. Okay. Let me see. Do you have to have bills in your name along with children to be head of household? That's a very good question. That only depends on your tax preparer. The IRS requires that tax preparers verify information before we submit, especially when it comes to individuals doing earned income taxes. Okay. Normally, what I do is I will go by your birth information. If y'all sending me a birth certificate or social security card, most people who have that are the parents or are the guardians. Okay. A person who's not raising your children should not have that information. So usually when people send me stuff, don't type me the number, show me the card so that I know it's real. Okay. So you can put birth records. Yes, you can do mail records because it doesn't go to the IRS. It goes to your tax preparer and they have to put down the proof that they visually saw. Okay. That is a part of the tax form. The IRS usually doesn't let you submit taxes until you answer all of the earned income tax credit questions. Okay. So it can be anything that your tax preparer deems acceptable to them. Okay. Me personally, I usually go by birth information. Now, if it's somebody that I personally know and I know that's their child, I can put male. I know that person. Okay. Hell, I was at the baby shower. You know what I mean? So I know. So it depends on your tax preparer, what they want. Okay. But that's a good question, though. Okay. Sylvia said he forgot to file it. Well, if he forgot to file it, depending on how much it is, Miss Sylvia, if you forgot to file any form, now I'm not going to lie. If it's just a few dollars, I do honestly believe you will be okay. Okay. But, and when I say a few dollars, I mean 250 or less. Okay. Because IRS ain't that, they're not tripping too much about that. Okay. I have not really seen them come back and go, hey, you forgot to put this $175 W-2 on here. But if we're talking hundreds or some thousands of dollars, absolutely need to put it in. Why? Because look how much money you are not allowing them to get. $250, that's $25 to them. They're probably not going to cry that much. But if it's $2,500, they want that $250. So I'm going to tell you to use your own judgment. Hold on. Why is this thing spinning? Y'all know this technology stuff is getting on my last. Okay. My very last. All right. Hold on. Let me, they make you drag the puzzle piece if you're on live for more than an hour with TikTok. It's like, y'all know I'm here. So you can make that determination. If you want to ask me offline, you can, and I'll just give you my best opinion. Normally, and if he paid taxes out of the money, if they already took the money from the IRS out, he definitely should file it because now he's going to get more money back. So pull out that 1099. And if you want, you can read the numbers off to me. You could tell me, and I'll let you know if I think you should do it. But again, that should be your choice. Okay. Can your spouse be a dependent if they do not work? That's a very good question, Cutie. That's one thing that a lot of people ask me all the time. And that's why I brought up that single and head of household is not the same. If you are married, your spouse cannot be your dependent at all. The only thing they can be is married, filing joint. That is it. You got single. Let me tell you all the filing statuses. You got single. That's for people with nothing. Okay. Your girl. Head of household. Somebody with a dependent. Married, filing separate. Married people who don't want to file together. Probably because your husband owed child support and you don't want the money to be taken from y'all taxes. Married filing joint. That is Miss Cutie Cody. That will be your situation. If you marry and the other spouse doesn't work, you will be married filing joint. And then last but not least is qualified widow. Okay. And that's for somebody who had a spouse that died. Even though their spouse is not alive, they can choose to do married filing separate or qualifying widow. Me, if somebody's deceased, I tell you to do qualifying widow because you can use that filing status for 2 years unless you remarry. Okay. And sometimes it helps. And another thing, if you're filing taxes and you're over 55, you blind, things like that, you need to be telling your tax preparer because those things give you an extra, like 13. They give you like I think if you get both of them, if you're blind and you're a senior, they give you like $1,300 extra. Okay, so it gives you more money. Also, if you have a dependent and they are disabled, meaning they're on Social Security, don't just put them down as your dependent. Put them down as your dependent and check the box that says they're disabled because you get more money for that. Okay, there's a box. Just check the box. Some of y'all need to have these people do your taxes and turn the screen around so that y'all can see what they are checking for you, at least when it comes to your personal information. The rest of the stuff they should be able to figure out on their own because it's just numbers. But when it comes to your personal information, you need to make sure your filing status is right. You need to make sure they got your IP PIN in correctly, and you need to make sure that they got all your information pertaining to your dependents in there correctly. And you, if you have, if you're blind or if you're over a certain age, okay? Those things are important, okay? So, because some of y'all just leaving some money. Might not be a lot of money, but again, we get McDonald's meals, we getting Chick-fil-A over here. We need these things, all right? Let's see. Dominic says, I took out money, Roth, to pay a garnishment. IRS sent a letter saying they are still researching. Yes. Now, Dominic, you want to prove that you took the money out, even though I know you probably got your 1099. Always go to the IRS and print out your 1099. That transcript is going to be on your wage transcript in the section of your IRS account, and print that out from that company. You won't see the full name spelled out because the IRS uses abbreviations. So if it's Merrill Lynch, you're probably going to see MERI. Okay. If it's TSP, if you're in the military, you're going to see thrift, THRI. Okay. Print that out so that you can keep a copy so that it shows, because this is what the IRS is researching. They're researching that 1099 that they receive from the servicer of your retirement funds. Okay. And they want to see that, hey, you really did take this money out, but that's your proof as well by keeping a copy of it for yourself. All right. Now, you said you took the money out to pay a garnishment. I don't know that I would have told you to do that. Depends on how much it is. But the garnishment does not change the code. They're still going to hit you with that 20% because that is not a reason for them to say, oh, you only got to pay the 10%, not the 20. They're still going to hit you with the 20% fine. Okay. So print that out for yourself and just put it away with your 1099 so that you have your proof, and just wait. Okay. That's all you need to do, Dominic. You said I had a loss, not a gain. If you had a loss, then, and I want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly. You had a loss on what? Taking your money out from your retirement? If so, then yes, you would have a loss because you're withdrawing the money. But if I'm not understanding that correctly, please explain. Okay. Let's see. Mariah Lynn, what about the CPN? What you need to know, girl? I Am Favorite says, I took a personal small loan from my IRA that's auto repaid by monthly. Would I get a tax form for that? If you took some money out of your 401k, if you took a loan out, no. Okay. So I just want to make sure y'all understand that. If you took a loan out, so for example, when I bought my house, I took money out of my thrift savings plan. I took a loan against my money. I withdrew it, but I withdrew it and I took a loan so that they can automatically take the money out. When you take a loan, that is not reported income because it's a loan. You're paying it back. But most of you guys who just take money out of your 401k, especially those who switch jobs, a lot of y'all don't even think about rolling the money over to your new job. You just cash out. If you are cashing out, the IRS looks at it as that's income. So you have to pay taxes on that. If you withdraw and take it as a form of a loan where it's automatically coming out, that is not income because the money is getting repaid. So I hope y'all understand the difference. Okay. So that's very good. I Am Favorite. That's a good. I'm glad you brought that up. Okay. So y'all need to know the difference. If y'all took the loan out, then you aren't going to get no tax documents because that's not an income to you. That is just money you borrow from yourself that you're paying back. But if you cashed out, meaning nothing's going back in the pot, that is income that you will have to report. Okay. And for everybody else, Oris says, yes, a happy bill. And for everybody else who got their loans dismissed, no, you will not have to report that income, even on state taxes. I still haven't seen one state yet said that you have to report your student loan information because your student loans were wiped clean. You will not have to worry about that. The only thing y'all need to be worrying about is if y'all are going to owe student loans, if they're going to take that money out of your refund. As y'all know, it's only 6 days into the new year. We don't know everything that's going to happen. And somebody said to me, well, I'm hoping President Trump changes this. And I just want y'all to know something. When it comes to the I, to the R, and to the S, he can make his recommendations, but he has no final say when it comes to that department. Okay. Even though it's a governmental department, he don't have no say on that. Okay. He can suggest something and they can vote on it. But if they say this is what it's going to be, baby, that's when it's going to be. Because Trump nor Biden said, I said the earned income tax credit rates are going to be this. They don't get to select that. Just like they don't get to be the ones to say, this is what the tax brackets are going to be for every year. These things are done automatically without their consent. Okay, so they may have control over other departments, but not when it comes to the I, to the R, and to that S. Okay, because even they got to pay their damn taxes, just like the rest of us. Okay. Let me see. All right, so let me see what y'all asking. How far back have you seen audits? The farthest that I've seen an audit go back, now legally, audits can only go back 7 years, unless there is a criminal, like say you get caught up with the PPP fraud, and then they start looking and seeing that you did tax fraud and you got the SBA EIDL. When it's because of fraud or any type of misrepresentation, they can go back as far as they like. More than likely, like 10 years is where they're going to go. But if it's not because of fraud, but just because they think you don't know what you're doing, or they're looking at your tax preparer and they're trying to see, let's look at 5 people that this tax preparer has done. They may go back anywhere from 3 to 7 years. So basically, you got 3, 7, or 10. You pick your number. For most of y'all, it's going to be 3 years, okay? Because the IRS is backed up. They don't have time to spend all that time going through all your things. But again, this year is the first year that it's going to be heavily done by AI. And remember, I told you guys, when y'all start calling the IRS this year, please don't get mad when y'all don't get them on the phone, because you are going to be talking to chat bots. Chat bots are going to answer the majority of your questions to free them up to do what they need to do, which is, well, I ain't finna say nothing because they ain't gonna come after me, okay? Because y'all work real hard over there at the IRS if y'all looking, okay? But they're gonna be using chat bots to answer your questions. So y'all will find it a little difficult to get somebody on the phone this year unless you are business owner, nonprofit. If you're calling about different other things other than your regular 1040 taxes, you will probably get somebody on the phone a lot easier. But regular 1040 stuff, they don't have time to deal with y'all calling them 800 times a day asking, where's my refund? Okay, that's why you go to the website, where's my refund? And if you do an amendment, you don't go to where's my refund to check on it. You go to where's my amended refund to check the status of that. Okay, I don't know why they can't even get those 2 things out to you guys to make it clear, so you don't have to call them. If they spent more time clarifying stuff, then they might not have y'all call so much. Okay, do I help with self-employed taxes? I do. Do you have a question, Nicole? Go ahead and ask it, please. Sylvia Todd, is married filing separate the same as single? Great question, but no, it's not. In the IRS's eyes, it is not the same thing for different reasons. Okay, I don't want to get too deep into it, but I'm going to tell you, it is the same when it comes to the standard deduction. Okay, standard deduction is how much money you can earn before they start taxing you. So I'm just give you the example. Say the standard deduction this year, because I don't have it up right now, but say the standard deduction this year is $15,000. If you made $15,000 and $15,050, $15,050, they are going to tax you on the $50 because the 15 is your standard deduction. That's the maximum amount of money you can make that they won't tax you. If you are single, but if you are also married filing separate, the standard deductions are the same. But if the other spouse files taxes, so you got 2 married people who choose to file separate, and it does happen. The thing that messes you guys up is some of y'all try to do the same thing and the IRS won't let you. 2 married people filing separate cannot both be head of household. Why? Because y'all live in the same household. If you live in the same household, it ain't going to work. So I tell you, it's not my business. I'm not trying to get in y'all married stuff. But if you married and y'all filing separate, y'all need to also have separate addresses, because the IRS knows that 2 people can't be the boss in the same house. Now, when I was growing up, you could, okay? But not to the I, to the R, or to the S. Another thing is, if one person files regular without a Schedule C, and then the other person files a Schedule C, they don't like that, because whatever one person files, the other person should file. Because in the IRS's eyes, married people should file together, which is why marriage is a business. Now, God said it's something different. But the IRS says, whatever one person files, the other married person should file the same thing. So if you got a Schedule C, you need to have a Schedule C too. Now, okay? That's just how it goes. Because married people are supposed to file together. Now, if you choose not to file together because you don't want to get hit with child support or something derogatory that you are afraid of, they have a caveat for that. You can file injured spouse form, included with your taxes. If y'all, anybody, if any of my tax people are watching, I will definitely show you the form. Unfortunately, a lot of those forms have to be mailed, but I believe in the software you can upload a form. So you can fill out the form and you can upload it into the system and attach it to your tax forms and then e-file it. You can file together and ask the IRS to separate your refund based off of your income. If you made $40,000, your husband made $60,000, but he's the one who owes the child support, they will take his portion of the money to pay child support, and your portion will stay the same. Okay. And yes, you can be over a certain age. Cutie Cody, I don't want to, let me get the look, you about to make me log into my thing, and I'm about to tell you, and I'll tell you exactly what age you got to be, because you do get extra money if you're blind over a certain age. Okay. It says, yeah, I sent them the garnishment. Okay, well, good. So you sent them okay, so you got that, Dominic. All right. It says, my daughter made less than $3,000 for the year. Is she required to file? She's not required to she does not require to file. I don't know how old she is, but if she made income and she paid money to the IRS, why would she not want to get the money back that she paid? On $3,000 in income, she probably at least paid $200 in taxes. She might have paid $150, but I would want that back for her. So yes, if you have a child that worked, if they paid no taxes, you don't have to file if you don't want to. I would, because accounting is all about checking checks and balances, dotting the I's, crossing the T's. So if the IRS got documentation saying that child worked, then that child should file. I file taxes. I do a little girl. I do them every year. She was 5 when we started. She's about to be 8 this year. She is a model for commercials and magazines, Sears magazines, Amazon magazines. She is a model, and she's way a minor, but she still files taxes because she earned income. And I tell her parents, absolutely, whether she paid taxes or not, she should file because she worked. Okay. And how many times I tell you, you need to work because you get points towards Social Security. So her working at such a young age means she could retire a lot earlier. Or if she doesn't want to retire a lot earlier, she can also receive a higher Social Security check when she retires, because she earned more income over her life than any other child her age. Okay. So absolutely, May, you should file. One, to check to see if she paid any taxes, and yes, you should file. Okay. Most children under 18, they don't. Okay. But I would absolutely tell you they should stop messing up their money and give them their money they done paid and pay them back. Hey, Miss Cynthia, you probably missed the VA thing. Send me a message, send me an email, Miss Cynthia, and I'll send you the new stuff that came out the VA so you can give to your son about getting some extra education benefits. Okay. Oh, yeah. So you took a loss. You had a loss. All right. So if you took money out of your Roth, whether you had a loss or a gain, it really doesn't matter. You withdrew money from a retirement plan, Dominic. So you will have to report that to the IRS, whether you made money or lost. And I Am Favorite says, cool, thank you. I appreciate your feedback. Mariah Lynn says, should we let the tax preparer know if we get SSI? If you get SSI, of course, you want them to know, because you are going to get a 1099 from Social Security that needs to be included. So yes, you need to let them know that you get SSI, whether that's a regular Social Security or whether that's Social Security disability. Yes, ma'am. Okay. And if you are claiming someone that receives Social Security disability, please make sure they check the box saying that they are disabled. If you're claiming somebody who's disabled, you also do not have to add their income because they're a dependent. You only need your income, but you still need to make sure the box is checked that they are disabled. All right. What if one won't file at all? If they don't file at all, few things. Nothing may happen until one day they decide to file and it triggers the IRS that you've never filed. Or 2, the IRS can see that you worked, earned income, but you did not file. So then one day you get a letter in the mail saying you also did not file. You didn't file. Here goes the math. We already did the calculations for you. We already know how much you owe us or how much we're supposed to give you. But because you didn't file, here goes tax, penalties, and fines and late fees. And now what you were going to get has now been reduced to this amount, and you owe us this. Now, but if you're not going to get a refund at all they're going to send you is how much you owe them. So I hate when people say, I'm not going to file. The only time you don't file is if you don't work because you didn't pay anything. Okay. If you're getting paid under the table, I don't know. You don't report it. But if you worked and you got a W-2, 1099, whatever it is, you need to file. And stop talking about, I'm gonna wait until the 3 years. I got 3 years to file. No, you don't. There is no such thing as I have 3 years to file. You have until April 15th to file. And if you don't file by April 15th, you need to have already put in for an extension and file by October 15th. And that goes for anybody right now. If you know that you're not going to be ready to file by April 15th, please do your extension now. I have a family. I do every single year, all 5 of them. I don't know why they're never ready, but they never file on time. And we always file in October or later. I don't know why later, but we always file late. That's just their choice. Okay. So y'all like and share real quick. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I'm gonna see what y'all have, and then I'm gonna let y'all go because I don't like to keep y'all long, and I do want to be able to answer y'all questions. So again, shamikasaves.com. You can send me a question there on my website. You can also book me for a consultation if y'all got questions. You want to talk about stuff that y'all heard me talk about tonight or any other time. Also, if you want to do a credit consultation so you can look at your credit, because some of y'all need to get it together. Stop getting all this money from these tax refunds and blowing it when your credit is trash. Okay, if y'all need to file bankruptcy, or if you need to just pay off debt, so you need to figure out how to get your life back on track, hit up your girl. This is what I do. Okay. And Miss Cynthia says, fam, here is the tip I use. Always check your transcript before filing. Shamika showed us how to do it. I exactly agree. Never, never, never do I file without looking at my transcript, even though I know I shouldn't have anything in there. I check anyway because people make mistakes. And just like Miss Cynthia knows from personal experience, people will steal your social security number and make income under you, and you didn't even know that you worked at this job. Now I'm gonna give y'all an example, and I swear I'm gonna be done. I did someone's taxes they wanted in advance. Okay, I just did it over the weekend. And I looked and I said, how are you working all these jobs in all these different states? I'm not understanding. Come to find out, luckily there was nothing illegal. The person said they moved around a lot. And I'm like, okay. And that can happen for some people. But things like that is what gives the IRS the red flag, and they're going to start looking, because they're going to go, how are you able to work in these different states and you're making $40,000? $40,000 is usually full time. Okay, now if you're getting $2,000, that can be part-time, but $40,000, that's full-time. You got 2 full-time, you got 2 part-time, and they're all in different places. How is that happening? Now, yes, I've seen where people will let other people use their information. DoorDash, Uber, you'll sign up on an account, you'll let somebody else work, and now, you got 5, 6 full-time jobs, 1099s coming in. I've seen people do that. Are they supposed to do it? I can't say, because Uber and DoorDash and Lyft and all of them didn't catch you. So to my knowledge, it's all your income. But those are the things that sets the IRS off. You guys may think they don't pay attention, but they do. If it doesn't make sense, they have the right to question you. And if you got 4 full-time jobs, they know there's no way you can work 4 full-time jobs and be one person. It's impossible. Okay. Now, unless you're doing like social media stuff from at home, but it's very difficult to do that when you're, especially in a job like Uber and Lyft and that kind of stuff. Okay. Thank you. Nicole says like and share, y'all. Okay. All right. So let me see what y'all said, and then this should be it. I believe this is it. All right. So I like to do my recap as always for those who came late and did not check in real quick. You can call the IRS offset. You can call the Treasury offset hotline. It is open right now. 800-304-3107. 800-304-3107. Okay. Do not file without one, pulling your transcripts and without calling that number. If you use that number between now and whenever, please make sure that you at least check it by the 31st of January, because in my opinion, that's when they're going to be the most updated. If you owe the IRS, it will not show up on the Treasury hotline because the IRS does not put their debt on there. You will have to find that out on your own through your account at irs.gov. So you need to make sure you call Treasury hotline, you log into the IRS account, and you pull your IRS transcripts. Excuse me. It seems like a lot, but I promise you can do it all in 10 minutes, okay? The next thing is know the difference between single and head of household. Please know your filing statuses. Please make sure if you have children, they file before you. If you're going to still claim them, they need to file first to check the box saying that somebody else is going to be claiming them, so that IRS doesn't block that Social Security number, and then you won't be able to file and add them as a dependent on your taxes, okay? Some of y'all cut y'all nose to spite y'all face because you're trying to file so fast. It's like, hold on, just wait, okay? And if you guys are going to do the advance, you can do the cash advance. The banks are open right now. The IRS is not open, but you can do the advance. Usually you get notified in about an hour or so after you do it if you're going to get the money. If y'all need any assistance with that, y'all know I can help with that. And please, and the most important thing, if we didn't, everything's damn important, but please make sure that if you've been contacted by the SBA about this money, please make some type of arrangement of what you're going to do, okay? Because what you don't want is them to put a lien. You don't want them to lien on you. You don't want them to take your bank, your money out of your bank account, because they can subpoena your bank accounts. And you also don't want them to sell that debt to a debt collector, because in most cases, y'all are going to be in court, okay? And I really think that that's probably going to happen. I think they're just going to sell the debts to debt collectors, and the debt collectors are going to be very aggressive. If y'all ever dealt with the debt collectors with the student loans, y'all know they're very aggressive, okay? I think they get to do a little bit more than other debt collectors get to do because they're working for the government, okay? And your fine, well, excuse me, not your fine, the amount that you have in that EIDL is going to go up because now it's been bought by somebody. So that little bit that you owed is now going to be a lot of bit, and you're going to be upset. And I don't want that, all right? Ms. Cynthia says, sometimes when a person works remotely from home at 1099 for different companies in different states, they will get 1099s like that. I have different 1099s from different states, but I live in Texas. Yes, Ms. Cynthia, but this person didn't have no 1099s. This person had W-2s, okay? So, but you're right. If you live in, if you got a job that's remote, you're 1099, yes, they can come from all over the place. But I look at the address where the person lives, because, you got to put the address when you're doing taxes, and you can't live in all these different places. You need one address when you do your taxes, not four. So that's what was confusing to me. But, once I ask and get an answer that I'm satisfied with, I'm good to go. All right. Cutie Curtis says, but if the other spouse files married, filing separately, will they be looking for the spouse's return? No. It doesn't. No, if you do married filing separate, that doesn't mean that the other spouse is going to file. A lot of people are separating. Married people separate, and the other person's mad and don't want to file tax at all. So no, the IRS is only concerned with what your social says in their system, the amount of income you earn. So in their system, if it says according to your social you made $50,000 this year, they are looking for whoever made that $50,000 to file. Even if you do married filing separate, if the other person doesn't want to file, that's on them. They're going to have to answer to the IRS why they didn't. So they can't make you file. And no, they don't go looking for the other person. And they're not going to get away, because when you do married filing separate, you still have to put your spouse's name, social, and birthday. So they're not getting away. Okay. So it's better off just to file married filing joint than it is to do separate, because they already know who you are. So you can't get away from them. Okay. User A62 says, what about the money paid to Medicaid and Medicare, because you can still work? Can you? So the money you pay to Medicare and Medicaid, you don't get that back. That money is put in for Medicare and Medicaid. That is put in for individuals who want to retire one day. Medicare and Medicaid, which are the same as in Social Security, is always going to be 15.9% of whatever your income is. If you don't believe me, take your total year-to-date income and do 15.9 times your income, and it'll tell you that amount. And that total amount will be broken up into two things on your check: Social Security, Medicare. Okay, 15.9% is what. So it's automatic. That's why even if you don't pay federal taxes, they still take Medicare and Medicaid out, because you have no choice but to pay it, because it's a federal program that is made up to make sure that older people have health insurance and be able to get medical and prescriptions and all of that stuff. So thank you, older people. And one day when I get that age, I'm gonna be thanking y'all if it's still around. So you can't get around that. Okay. So no, you cannot claim that. That's you don't get any money back for that. Okay. We can do credit repair to remove the SBA collection. Then correct. Not quite. You can. Now I'm telling you, you can. But this is the thing. if you do, if you dispute anything on your credit, the information is going to be sent to the person that put it on your credit to verify that what you're saying is wrong or right. So if you keep trying to remove stuff from your credit report, from the debt collection, from that SBA debt collector, I don't know if I would play with that, because I know that to buy a $40,000 debt is probably going to cost them $1,000, $2,500. That money that they invested, they're going to want that back. So if you try to remove it, if they want to be mad enough and go, oh, this person thinks they're slick, well, now we're going to sue them. We were going to wait 3 years to sue them, but now since they want to play these games, we're going to sue them right now. So yeah, you can remove it, but please know that you can't remove it, and that the SBA debt collector won't. They will know. There's no way you can hide it from them. They're going to find out that you took it off. Okay, this is not like portfolio recovery. Well, they know too, but some of the smaller people, like Verizon, Sprint, they got so many customers, they ain't chasing you down. But you start messing with portfolio recovery, Midland Credit, LVMV funding. You start messing with some of these ones that do this for a living and make lots of money off of collecting debt, they will absolutely take you to court. So please be careful when you're trying to remove that international cuisine. Okay. And hey, Johnny. All right. So I think that was it. I'm way, way over my time. Sorry for those who got to see me double on YouTube. I will fix that when I get off of here. Please message me if you have any questions. And I know I waited till the absolute last minute to tell, but I like to keep people who fuck with me. I really want to tell y'all, I got my results back from my entrance exam for the JD Next. For anybody that was interested in going into law school, I told you guys they have a new entrance test that you can take. And I got my score back today, and I scored in the 90th percentile. Woo, woo, woo. Okay, let me take a few minutes to look. Okay. And I have to thank God for that, because, baby, let me tell you, I was super, super, super stressed out about it. And I'm so happy. So basically what this means is now I'm going to apply. Thank y'all very much. So now that means I'm going to apply, and I'm going to see who is going to accept me so that I can do this on the lawyer side, not just here on this side. And I just appreciate y'all supporting, y'all prayers and all that good stuff, and giving me that vote of confidence. Y'all see, I waited to the last minute to make this, because I didn't want to make this about me, but I've been on cloud nine all day. And hopefully for the rest of this year, okay, while I'm looking. And so again, if y'all got any questions or anything for me, please let me know. Thank y'all very much. I appreciate that. David, if you need to reach out to me, please, by all means, send me a message. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Love y'all. Please be blessed. And I'll be here same time. Matter of fact, what I'm going to do this week, I'm going to try doing Wednesdays, because I said I'm going to start staying home more, because y'all are really amping me up with a lot of work, and it's tax season. So I will be back Wednesday, 7 o'clock Central, 8 Eastern, and we're going to talk off the cuff. I'll pick a topic about something, and then, of course, I'll still answer y'all questions. So if you're here, you're here. If you're not, you can watch the playback, and hit me up with the email questions if y'all need, and I will answer them for you. Thank you, Mariah Lynn. I want every year to be good for me, but I want it to be great for you guys too, because we are in this together, okay? Regardless of color, regardless of sex, gender, age, all of that. If we ain't rich and sitting over Bill Gates' couch or sitting over there at Jeff Bezos' house, baby, we are all in the same pot together. So thank y'all for being here, and I will see you guys on Wednesday, okay? See y'all. Thank you, Miss Paula. All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye. Bye, y'all.